Welcome back to our channel Commerce EC Notes. Today we are going to discuss about company meeting again. This is the part 2 of company meetings. In this video, we are starting with the essentials of a valid meeting. It consists of 8 points. First one is proper authority, notice, a quorum, the chairman, minutes, voting, proxies, and the last one is a resolution. We are going to discuss about all the points in detail. The first point is proper authority. The first important essential of a valid meeting is that proper authority. The meeting must be called by a proper authority. Here, the proper authority means the board of directors. The board of directors should pass a resolution in their board meeting. If the directors fail to call the meeting, the tribunal has the authority to call up the meeting. Next point is notice. This is the second essential of a valid meeting. It should be given to the members before 21 days of the meeting. In that notice, accurate place, date, and time should be mentioned. It is given to auditors, directors, and every person who entitled to present on the meeting. The notice should be in written or in electronic format. Notice should be placed on the company website. Next is quorum. Quorum means it is the minimum number of persons who must present in the meeting for the validity. First one is public company. In public company, if the members are up to 1000, 5 members should present in the meeting. Then only the meeting becomes valid. The second is if the members are more than 1000 but up to 5000, 15 members should present in the meeting. Third case is when the members is not more than 5000, 30 members should present in the meeting. Next, coming to private company, only 2 members are required to complete the quorum of the meeting. Next is chairman. He is the authorized person to call for meeting. He is necessary to conduct a meeting. Without him, no meeting is going to happen. Next, we are going to discuss about the duties of the chairman. Duties of the chairman. First one is he must check the validity of the meetings. That is the notice, the quorum, etc. should be take care of him. Second one is he must note that the meeting is according to agenda. Here agenda means before meeting we want to prepare the things to be discussed in the meeting. So he must note that the meeting is according to that. He must see the rules and regulations of the meeting. Next is he must check the minutes of the last meeting is read out. It is compulsory to read the minutes of the last meeting which is conducted. Next, he must be impartial to all the members of the company. Next, he must ensure no other discussions are carried on. In the meeting, no other discussions are allowed to put on. Only the discussions according to agenda are allowed. Next, he must declare the meeting is closed. When all the matters have discussed, he must declare that the meeting is closed or adjourned. The last one is the minutes should be signed by him. Next, we are going to discuss about the minutes of the meeting. First, we are discussing the objectives. When we are discussing about the objectives, we can know that what is a minutes. First one is a minutes is a clear and accurate record of the proceedings of the meeting. Next is it should be kept for future reference and also it is accepted by the court. It serves as a permanent record of the proceedings. Next, it is useful to the members who are absent in the meeting. And the last one is this is the link between one meeting and the previous meeting. They can link different matters in the previous meeting with the coming meetings. Next is voting. Every member whose name appear in the register of members has a right to vote at a general meeting. A shareholder's vote is right of property, he may use voting in different manners. So, voting is divided into three: in general meeting, using electronic media, and the third one is postal ballot. In general meeting, the shareholders can vote by two means. First one is by show of hands, the second one is by poll. By show of hand means it's a popular method of voting. In this method, the member in favor and against a proposal are requested to indicate their decision by raising their hands. It is mentioned in the section 107. In general meeting, by show of hands, a proxy cannot take advantage, or the proxy cannot vote by show of hands. Next one is by poll. It is also a popular method at present. If the members feel any dissatisfaction about the result of voting, they can demand a poll. A poll can be demanded before the declaration of the result of voting. On a poll, each member is entitled to vote in proportion to the shares they held. The proxy can also vote by poll. Next is using electronic media. Every listed company or a company having not less than 1000 shareholder shall provide to its members facility to exercise their right to vote at general meeting by the means of electronics. It is mentioned in the section 108. And the third one is a postal ballot. It is mentioned in section 110. Postal ballot means voting by post or through any electronic mode. It gives an opportunity to the company's members residing outside the local limits of its registered office to exercise their voting rights, which would have not been possible in case of physical voting process. Next is proxies. It is mentioned in section 105. So, a proxy is a person who is appointed by a member to attend and vote at the meeting in the absence of the member. That means every shareholder can appoint another person to vote at a general meeting. Thus, the proxy may be the agent or any other person authorized of the member of the company who is appointing him. Proxy need not be a member of that company. Next, we are going to the provisions relating to proxies. A proxy has the right to vote only on a poll. He cannot speak in the meeting, and also he can't raise hand in the general meeting for voting. Second one is proxy instrument has to be deposited with the company 48 hours before the time of the meeting. That means when a shareholder appoints a proxy in a general meeting for his vote, he should deposit the proxy instrument including the details of that proxy before 48 hours of the time of the meeting. Next is the complete information regarding the proxy should be included in the proxy instrument or the proxy document. Next is the proxy document must be in a written format, and the last one is the proxy is revocable. In case of death or insanity of the shareholder, the proxy can be revoked. The last essential of a valid meeting is that the resolutions. A resolution is a legally binding decision made by company directors or shareholders. If a majority vote is achieved in favor of any decision, the decision is passed or the resolution is passed. A resolution therefore represents the collective decision of the meeting. Then the resolution is divided into three. First one is ordinary resolution. It is mentioned in section 114. Second one is special resolution. It is also mentioned in section 114. The last one is requiring special notice. That is resolutions requiring special notice. It is mentioned in section 115. In resolutions, the first one is ordinary resolution. An ordinary resolution is passed by simple majority of the total votes cast by each member's voting rights. That means 50% of the shareholders voting for a decision that is converted to an ordinary resolution. In simple means, this is the method by which members approve routine company decisions traditionally in general meetings. These are some typical examples of decisions took by using ordinary resolutions. First one, approval of the annual accounts, approval of a final or interim dividend, reappointment and appointment of a director, increasing the authorized share capital, reappointment of auditors, removing a director. The second one is special resolution. It is the intention to propose the resolution as special resolution is specified and at least 3/4 votes required for passing the special resolution. If the 75% of shareholders voted for a decision, we can say that or we can approve that decision by passing a special resolution. When there is no special resolution is required, an ordinary resolution can be passed. Next are some typical examples of decisions passed by a special resolution. First one, for changing the registered office of a company, we want to pass a special resolution. Next, for altering the memorandum of association and also alteration of articles of association of the company, special resolution are required. Next, further issue of shares, for reduction of share capital, removal of auditor, for voluntary winding up of the company and appointment of more than 15 directors, special resolutions are required. Next one is the conditions must satisfy for special resolution. First one is notice should be given to the member at least 21 days before the meeting. When we want to pass a special resolution, the notice should be given to the members 21 days before the meeting. Second one is the intention of passing a special resolution should be specified. Third one is the resolution should be attached to the notice. The last one is the copy of the special resolution should be filed with the registrar within 30 days of the passing of the special resolution. These are the conditions. The third one is a resolution requiring special notice. A special notice is an intention to move a resolution, maybe an ordinary resolution or a special resolution at a general meeting, either EGM, extraordinary general meeting, or AGM, annual general meeting, has to be given specifically by the shareholders. If a resolution want to be changed, the shareholders should give a special notice in the general meeting or in the EGM or in the AGM. Next is the matters requiring special notice. First one is a removal of director or to appoint another in place of removing one. Second one is appointment of auditor other than existing or retiring not be appointed. The third one is other matters specified under the articles of association requiring special notice. Next, we are going to discuss about the difference between ordinary resolution and special resolution. First one is ordinary resolution. In general meeting, simple majority is required to pass a decision. That is known as ordinary resolution. Next is in general meeting, super majority is required to pass a decision. That is special resolution. Next base is consent of members. At least 51% of members should be in favor of the motion or favor of that decision. Next is at least 75% of members should be in favor of that decision. Then only we can pass a special resolution. Next one is the registration with the registrar of companies. A copy of ordinary resolution should be filed with the registrar of the companies in certain cases. In special resolution, it must be filed with the registrar of the companies. And the last one is business transacted. It is depends upon the requirements of the act. It means that sometimes ordinary resolution can be used for ordinary businesses or special businesses. Next one is special resolution is passed only for special businesses. These are the difference between ordinary and special resolutions. Next, we are going to discuss about the motions. A motion is a formal proposal by a member to do something. Then the motions are the basis of the group decision making process. That means a motion that is passed by majority of the members present and voting becomes a resolution. Simply, a motion is a formal recommendation put by a member to a meeting for debate and consideration. Next is interruption of debate. When we are conducting a debate or when we are conducting a debate in the company or any meetings in the company, we can interrupt that debate or interrupt that discussion in different ways. The first one is amendment, second one is point of order, and the third one is formal motions or dilatory motions. Here, amendment means an amendment is a proposed alteration or modification in the terms or working of the motion. He can add some words to that decision, he can replace that, he can drop some words from the motion, he can change the place or position of the words. That means amendments. The second one is point of order. The point of order is the objection about if any irregularity or any malpractices are going on, we can raise our hands to get notice of that malpractices or that irregularity. That means the point of order. Next one is formal motions or dilatory motions. That means these are the motions which relate to the procedure of the meeting. These are classified into five. First one is closure. Closure means when we are discussing more time on one motion. That means here motion means a decision. We are discussing more time on one decision, we can close that decision and put forward another motion. Second one is previous question. The object of moving this motion is to prevent a vote being taken on the main motion under discussion or prevent further discussion on the main motion. If no discussion is conducted on the previous questions or previous decisions, we can change the main question to previous question and can discuss the previous questions. Next one is next business. The next business and previous question are almost same. The meaning is only to move from the main to the next decision. Next one is refer back. Refer back means if you are not getting further suggestions or further informations from the current motion, we can refer that motion or we can refer that decisions to the committee. The last one is adjournment. Adjournment means postponing the meeting or postponing the motions for another day. If the adjournment is not passed, the meeting can be resumed. So these are all about the essentials of a valid meeting. Hope you all like the video. Thank you for watching.